Welcome to Pretty Lies and Ugly Truths, where you can either die with the lie or
the truth will set you free.
And I am the Alex E. Miller, and that lovely voice of reason you just heard was
Toya Vegan Mamiana.
All right. And as we always do at Pretty Lies and Ugly Truths, we allow the guests to introduce themselves, treat it like the first day of school, first day on the job, tell us everything we don't know, we should know, we need to know. Whenever you're ready, the floor is yours.
All right, so where do I start, man? I'm just first and foremost a man who's happy to be here. You know,
yeah, for sure.
There's so many paths that don't lead to me sitting here talking to you guys. So I just want to acknowledge and appreciate the fact that I'm just here. I am a father first. I am a leader of men. I am a fitness professional. I am an entrepreneur. I am a vessel that the universe is using to deliver hope to people.
Nice.
That's what's up.
That's really good.
Great introduction.
I need to practice that. I need to write that down. No, for real.
Yeah, that was great. So, in one interview, I heard you refer to yourself as a goon from Brownsville.
Yeah.
And, you have a psychology degree from Norfolk State University.
Yes, sir.
How do, the street smarts and book sense tie into somebody that has lost over 140 pounds? How does that apply to a big fitness transformation of that magnitude?
What a great question to open with, man. It's wow. It has so much to do with everything I do, but I don't really think about it as much. So that question really has my mind going right now, like how it all ties in. It definitely does. I think street smarts is such an underrated asset, and just in life in general, because it's normally people with street smarts. Let me speak on the people I know. They don't make the best decisions outside of that realm.
Okay.
So to be able to combine the two, it's the fact that I have that background has definitely been an asset. Because it just teaches you, it sharpens your gut. It sharpens your gut. When someone's bullshitting. When somebody's fake, when somebody's real. Yeah. And that translates to the boardroom as well. It's the same feel, whether it's on the streets or in the boardroom. So I definitely look at it as an asset for sure.
Mm-hmm. Definitely helps.
And then what did the degree in psychology? How did that play a part in the transformation? So
honestly, man, college for me was one of those things where I had to. I think I leveraged a lot of the relationships I made in college, but it's also a part of the American story that I needed to have in order to warn people against that pit, that trap. It's a trap for most of us. It's something, like I said, I like to be able to experience things in order to advise people about it, because I don't want to be a hypocrite. Like, I can't give advice on something I haven't done.
Right.
So it just depends very much. I mean, I learned things in college, but more so about building relationships. That's the biggest asset I think my college experience had for me.
Okay. Yeah, because I know myself, I'm like, I don't trust nobody that ain't been through it. I know that's probably not good to think, but when like going to see a therapist and stuff like that, I'm like, if you just studied this, I don't know how much you can help me.
But let me think about it like this. Some of the greatest coaches to ever coach any sport, they weren't the best players, or they weren't good players. So coaching is a skill, is a talent in itself. Okay. So I kind of try to think about it like that. And yeah, that helps me, because I feel the same way, right?
To give them that credit, because people, whatever they are good at, they deserve the credit for. I can't discredit someone because they didn't go through things per se. I get that. So I'm sorry.
No.
That's my. That'd be my first thing. Like, what?
Yeah, I've been there until I've met some people who really didn't have the backstory, but they had the skills to give you and to guide and to whatever. So I changed my mind on that. So I feel you. I used to think the same way.
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate you presenting that to me because, yeah, I'll be like,
I know you, from what I've read, there was somebody close to you that you lost due to obesity, and that had a big impact on the way you looked at health. Me, it's kind of the same thing with me. I've lost, since I finished high school, like over 20 family members. And a lot of it came from, stuff like cancer, heart attacks, drug overdoses. And the times that we did, get to hear from a doctor with any of them on how we could try to shift things, it was always the same instruction: let's change the diet. I'm like, dang, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I guess this is going to happen to me. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously you're giving us the information late. So I'm going to go ahead and start applying this to my diet now. Is that kind of like what it was for you? Where is that wake up call because it hit so close to home?
For sure.
Was it instantaneous, or was it like a over time thing?
Nah, it wasn't. I'd love to say it was a moment in time where, like, after that, nothing was the same. No, it was a seed that was planted. It made it real for me, but it wasn't like an instant, like, oh yeah, I need to change my shit all the way up.
this is it. Right.
It just made a lot of the things that I've heard about taking your health seriously. It just started making it a little bit more real. So, but the pain, as that pain set in, and to see his family grieve, and to see, how his lifestyle choices affected not just his life, which was abruptly, ended, but his mom, his kid, his kid's mom, like, his choices, what he decided to eat every single day affected the rest of these people's lives forever. So that kind of set in over time. But it was definitely one of the big seeds that bloomed into the desire for me to just live better. So with that just being a seed that was planted, where was the moment that you decided, like, okay, today is the day, and then from that day, it was consistent, the change? Yeah. So March 1st, 2013, I woke up and I struggled to find words to describe what that morning was like for me. But it was this inner knowing that today was the day to initiate the permanent change, right? Yeah. To initiate it. Yeah. I don't like to paint it out as if it was a moment where everything, like, from that forward. Yeah. It's a process anyways. Yeah, absolutely. But that was the day where I kind of felt this, like, this pivot, right? This shift. Yeah. Begin. Yeah. But it was a very distinct feeling though. So it almost feels instant, but it took a while for my behaviors and my habits and all that stuff. It's still a process. Yeah, for sure. But it's still that moment that you always have a moment though where this is where I was like, this is where I started. It was my breaking point. Yeah, it's your start point. You know what I mean? Like, to the process. Yes. Not to tomorrow because I decided today, Exactly. Hell no. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's what I wanted to, did you have that day? So you have the exact day and the exact day. Damn, I ain't that good. Yeah, I felt it. I felt it, man. It was just something in my spirit. I felt that day. Right.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact date, but if I could probably, find the hospital records, I almost had a heart attack 6 years ago. Wow. And ironically, the moment was, me and, my fiance was at Carrabba's, and it was like, literally, like, I was like feeling it at the table. And I'm telling my god sister, she called. I was like, man, like, she's like, you don't sound too good. I was like, man, this is my heart. I feel like it's almost like jumping out of my chest. She's like, you need to, like, go to the hospital. You know what I'm saying? Because I had a sister that was junior Olympian, track and field, ran against Marion Jones, you know what I'm saying, when she was younger. She died at 31 from a heart attack. Oh, shit. So when I almost had my heart attack, dude was like, what's your, do you drink? I'm like, yeah, a lot. Why? You know what I'm saying? He was like, what do you eat? And I was like, shrimp, egg, fouillon, Philly cheesesteak, eat meat lovers pizza, what's up? And he was like, letting me know, he's like, you literally right now are in the process of the beginning of a heart attack. EKG is very abnormal. So he's like, it's either you can, I can tell you to change your eating habits, but if you don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, your health is going to kill you, because I told him about my sister And because he asked about the history, I was like, I got a sister, and I got a cousin that was 17 that had heart issues, you know, and it kind of messed up things with him, you know, leaving to go to play football. So I'm like, damn. So for me that day, I was like, all right, I'm running 100 miles an hour the opposite direction on feet.
Yeah.
So, you know, like me, it was shrimp egg, fouillon, Philly cheese, steak, meat lovers pizza. What was your go-tos that you knew you were overindulging?
Bruh, man, I was a big fast food guy, Chinese food. Like, and honestly, man, I could probably call the Chinese food restaurant from around my way right now. They'll see
They know your order.
They'll know my order still to this day. So that goes through how heavy I was in the game with the Chinese food. So yeah, it was Chinese food. It was fast food of all sorts. It was, you know, a lot of desserts and, you know, pints of Haagen-Dazs ice cream and fucking, you know, what was this shit? The donuts, the hot donuts. What are them shits called right now? When you will drive past and the light is on.
Krispy Kreme?
Krispy Kreme, yeah. Krispy Kreme, donuts, that sort of thing.
All that.
I was basic with it, the basic stuff.
The worst shit is
the word.
It don't even got to be like steak and all that. Like, the basic shit.
Basic shit.
It'll do it to you.
Facts.
Yeah. If you don't mind sharing, what was the first stuff that you was just like, okay, this stuff here was the first stuff I was like, okay, I can't fuck with this no more. Because like me, I immediately knew like where my heart would feel a lot is the shrimp egg fouillon for the Chinese spot. So that's one of the things where I'm like, man, all this grease. You know, I didn't know if it was certain dishes you knew was a go that you got.
So I've given up fast foods. I've given up fast foods 100%.
100%.
100%. I don't put that shit in my body. But I'll still eat burgers and fries, but just not from fast food restaurants. Okay. So, but that's the only thing I feel like I've totally given up. That's the only thing I've given up. I'm not an advocate of cutting out shit from your diet. Like, there's things that you should eat a lot less of than others. But I'm just not that coach or that you know, fitness professional that's going to tell you like, yo, you shouldn't eat this or you shouldn't eat that. Everyone has their own thing that works for them. So of course, again, there's things you should eat a lot less of than others, or you shouldn't overindulge in certain things. Right. It's about balance, you know. It's about balance.
So is that it for you? Is it because I know I've heard people where they're like, listen, it's mostly about what you're eating. You can work out all you want. How do you feel about that?
It's the truth.
That's the truth.
But see, here's the thing. It's less about what you're eating and more about how much you're eating.
Yeah, I noticed that. Because, see, I'm vegan. But see, I'll overeat. So I'll literally, like right now, I'm in the middle of detoxing because, I mean, I'm talking about especially like rice and stuff like that. Like, it's going like, and I don't eat meat either. Like, I'm going to overeat. So that's definitely, I definitely agree with that. It's about how much you eat.
How much, yeah. You can overeat kale salad. You can overeat. It's not it's about how much more so. I mean, what you eat is important. Don't get it twisted. It's important. But if we're talking about healthy weight management, it's more so about how much of what you're eating.
Okay.
Portions. Yeah, like before I went vegan myself, and before that I had 10 no's. It was like, you know, for a year I did no pork, no pasta, no fried food, no fast food, no starch, no bread, no salt, no alcohol, no added condiments, no candy. Right? It was like strict for like a year. And
did you like your life? Did you enjoy your life?
At that time? Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean
it's at that time, it was like I let my ego, I use my ego to my advantage.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, you know, like with Floyd, when people speak of Floyd, he undefeated. You know what I'm saying? So when my people, they would introduce me to like, hey, this is my homeboy Alex, you know, he helped nut. He don't do this, he don't do that. You know what I'm saying?
So this is a great point because I spoke about this on my Instagram story the other day. You attach that to your identity. It was a part of who you were during that period of your life. So rather, you're not going to do it. You're less likely to do or eat or anything that contradicts the identity that you've portrayed to the world.
Correct.
Right. That's what helped me stay vegan.
Yeah, I can get that. And you got to learn how to leverage that and use it to your advantage.
But I appreciated it though, even though I was like, God damn, I gotta live up to this shit.
Yeah.
Damn. But then it was like, but it's good, so it's okay. God damn, shit. Because I did that. I put that shit part of my plan on social media.
Yep.
Trying to brag about some shit.
That's what I told man. If you want to change, that's what I said. Like, if you want to make a change in your life, like, add that title to your bio. Please
tell somebody that. Like, I swear, that's what happened to me. Fact. I wouldn't have stayed a vegan if I was like doing it at home and nobody knew.
Yeah.
No. Fuck no. I made that shit a part of me, and I was like, oh, I'm stuck with this motherfucker. I guess. Like, I gotta be this shit for real.
You're not gonna be out here looking like a flake.
Fuck, and I can't do that.
Exactly.
I'd be damned if I do that. So yeah, and it makes you fight harder.
Exactly.
And that's a real tool that people need to know to do that. Put it in your bio or something. Anything.
Put that shit in your bio. It'll stick.
You need to put that on a shirt.
yeah. Put it in your bio. Yeah,
put it in your bio.
Yeah, real shit.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the reasons people don't want to take on certain titles because of responsibility.
How did you feel, right? Because like I went through a whole health issue. I'm not gonna make story extra long and all that. I went through a lot myself. I was overweight, extremely overweight, and then I'm short, so that was horrible. And what was the like for you that moment, like when you start realizing like my body looking different? Like, what was that moment for you? Because for me, that's what it was like. Oh shit, I was too good for food then. I was like, bitch, ew, I don't like that.
Yeah. So similar. My experience was similar. It made me villainize the quote unquote bad foods even more, which wasn't good. It wasn't good. Yeah. I was feeling myself.
Yeah.
I had my momentum going. I'm like, oh shit, this shit is working.
Yes.
But it was more of a fear-based thing that started to happen with my relationship with food. It would make me like afraid to eat certain things because I'm like, fuck, I'll probably gain back all 50 pounds in one night. That's how it's crazy as that sounds.
I believe I do.
Yeah, no, you don't.
I believe it. I swear. I feel like I'm swelling. Soon as I eat something, I feel me swelling up. I'm like,
no. Yeah, no. That's fear.
That's the fear you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. So So it was a good feeling, and don't get me wrong. I'm glad I made the mistakes I made because now again I'm able to guide people through stuff like that.
Okay.
But it definitely started off as an obsession, like an unhealthy obsession at first when I started watching my body change.
Yeah, it is.
Did you go through a moment of, because I will admit this, and most vegans probably have went through this, you probably went through this, Toya, a moment of bigotry, like where, like I was like at one point when we out to eat and somebody ordering some shit that I'm like, oh, this ain't good for you. I'm like, you know what's in that, right? You know this, you know that, you know that. It's like,
I did.
Did you go
through
that stage?
The judgy, like that.
I didn't.
Will sit like you're picking apart what everyone else is eating.
I stayed away from that.
That annoying. I did it for a little while. I did.
I never dealt with it, but it was weird because when I did though, and I even have like a little video on my IG, old ass video, like clowning because it would be done to me though. So now I got all these meat eaters around me checking every fucking thing I'm doing. What you eating? And when like and questioning me, you know what I mean? And like really like my kids do it to this day. Is that vegan? You know what I'm saying?
Annoying, right?
And I don't do that shit to nobody. I'm like, see, I don't fuck with y'all. I don't mess with y'all. So why are y'all messing with me? Like, I'm not out here eating fucking animals. Okay, y'all check y'all own. So I went through the opposite. I never was that person that pushed it on anybody. Still to this day, I won't. I never will. I don't have listen, I ain't got time to tell you all that. I don't like talking about it because people will get offended. They'll ask me about it, and I tell them why and how I don't like this and I won't eat that. And they're, oh well, I'm gonna do it. I'm like, well, I did it for 30-some years.
Yeah, get offended. They get defensive. Whenever I'm around certain people and they're eating certain things, they're like, oh, like they get uncomfortable. And I'm like, yo, eat what the fuck you eat.
Do what you gotta do.
I don't care what you eat. That shit, they don't make me shit. So just Eat your food. I don't care. Like, I've been there. Like, I'm not tripping off what you eat.
So not to stereotype certain races or ethnic backgrounds, but I know certain people that when I've tried to explain to them how they can overcome, you know what I'm saying, their issues with their weight or their health, they quick to tell me, yeah, but you know, like in my culture, we had this. And I'm like, well, bro, like, you know, in my culture, we have, you know what I'm saying? It's like, so what you saying? It's like, are you like that much of your culture to where you can't even experience birthdays, holidays, anniversaries with your people and that's going to stop you? And I think sometimes, you know, I lack the empathy there and I probably should have had more. Could you speak to how difficult that was, how easy it was for you and how you overcame that?
I think it comes back to, again, the identity piece. When people attach these cultural norms to their identity, this is how my family eat, this is how I've always eaten, this is me, then it's kind of hard to break them out of that mindset. It doesn't even matter what words or evidence you show them. Right. They're kind of just like tunnel vision and locked into their identity. So that's one of the things where my goal in those situations is to gently plant a seed with folks.
Because we did that with soul food as a culture.
Facts.
Yeah.
We made that shit all about us.
And if you think about where that shit come from,
you seen Soul Food Junkies.
Yeah,
I heard, you know.
I haven't seen that, but
I haven't seen that, but I heard about what you're talking about, like how we actually started even eating that shit.
Exactly.
So you know, like, but we so big, we identify with it. That's our title. It ain't even gotta be a bio. We black folks, we soul food. That's what we do. And if you don't, you ain't black. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And don't get me wrong, I'll eat it, you know, once in a while.
Yeah.
But I don't attach that to my blackness. I don't. I'm sorry.
Right. Yeah. But when there's a way, I feel like there's also a way of cooking things healthy. Like where even if it's meat, you don't have to be a vegan, you know what I mean? But if you eat meat, there's a way to not use salt, but you season. Because I'm big on seasoning, but I don't use salt. So you know what I mean? Like don't fry it, bake it. Like just simple shit. You know what I'm saying?
These little adjustments in the way we
it don't have to be that serious for real. You know what I'm saying? And you can make it where it ain't gonna stroke you out. Because really it'd be a lot of that fucking salt.
Yeah, you can still enjoy your food and it be tasty without it fucking killing you.
Exactly.
So you seem like your coaching style seems to be one of those weather the storm. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to freaking like change your entire circle and not be with friends and family and all of that. Yeah, it seems like your approach is, you know, the storm gonna be there. It's all about you being rigid enough, you know what I'm saying, to not let it, you know, sway you. Am I right in thinking that's your approach?
So it depends on what the goal is for that particular client. Right? It depends on what the goal is. But in general, right, generally speaking, I would agree with what you said. It's about trying to find little pivots, little changes that you can commit to long term. Like I'm about sustainability. So asking you to cut out a food group, asking you to not hang out with your family, that's not a sustainable approach. Right. So I'm about trying to find little changes, right? 1 or 2 little changes that you can commit to, build a foundation on that, on those first 1 or 2 little changes, and then add slowly. And then over time, you know, you look up 2 years from that starting point and your whole shit is different.
It's a realistic goal. Takes time. You have to be realistic in everything.
For sure.
In every goal you make.
Yeah.
Cause me, I ain't gonna lie. Like how I started being vegan, my journey on that, I did the detox thing, and I got so sick. I was sick. Like I didn't know what the hell I did to myself. I'm like, what the fuck did I do? I fucked up. All I knew was I lost weight. So that's when I was like, and I chose vegan. Because I wasn't vegan. I stopped red meat and everything else, but I did the detox. But it was just so extreme though. And I'm like, I ain't have to do it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't push that on people, like, you know what I'm saying, at all. Like it should be more realistic because it made me sick. I was sick as hell being extreme.
So I right now, my diet is probably about 70% plant-based. And I was very intentional about never putting a label on myself. I eat in a way that makes my body feel the best, right? So whatever that is. So I try not to label it, because again, then you're inviting people talking shit. Like, oh, what are you eating? So my thing is like, all right, if I choose to eat pretty much vegan most of the time, I'm not going to have anybody calling me out on shit because I never put that label.
Nobody said I was vegan.
Yeah, exactly. I just
You're doing it for yourself instead of the image.
Exactly.
So fluidity is key, I see.
Right.
It's very key. It's very key. You don't need, I mean, there's ways to leverage that sort of accountability, but then there's also a fine line between it being accountability and then fucking annoying. You feel what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So there's a fine line there.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So speaking of accountability, you have an accountability group.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, that people can be a part of. If you wouldn't mind just kind of expounding on exactly what an accountability group is, and, you know, kind of simply explain what has inspired you to say, I need to label this a group and the importance of it.
Okay, so when quarantine first happened, right? Because top of the year, I had dropped a course that teaches people the psychology of weight loss transformation, right? That teaches people specifically the step-by-step ways to change their mindset around the process and allow them to find sustainability. So, because a lot of people they teach the mechanics. Like everyone teaches the mechanics. Everyone teaches what you should be doing in the gym, what you should be eating. We all know that stuff for the most part. Like everyone knows that you're supposed to be eating less and you're supposed to be exercising regularly.
Right.
But the mindset part is the void that I felt like no one was really teaching the mindset. So to answer your question, that was a product that I felt like as the world was changing, I needed to find another way to support people and what they needed at the time. So they needed at-home workouts, and they also needed support. They needed a family of people, because a lot of us, especially Black folks, when we go on these like health kicks, let's call them, right? I don't even like calling them that, but that's what they are for a lot of us. Health kicks. We have what happens? People in our family, they're talking shit about us, right? They're oh, you want to eat rabbit food? Eat a real meal. Oh, you're never. So we don't have. A lot of us don't have the support at home.
No.
To keep us, you know, keep us going, like to make us feel like, all right, this is something I can achieve. So we need a family. Like we're pack animals. We need each other in order to, you know, to keep us motivated or inspired or accountable. So I'm like, all right, if I looked at one of the most successful weight loss programs of all time is Weight Watchers.
Yeah.
And the part about Weight Watchers that I think that makes it the most successful is the community. Is the fact that they have those meetings and they have these groups where they have their point systems and they talk about it and they share what's happening in their journeys and da-da-da-da. So I wanted to find a way to create, for one, give people a resource for at-home workouts, and then for two, give them a system of support.
Right.
A safe space for them to share their struggles, for them to share their wins, for them to ask for advice. And then there's also an accountability system built into the group where you check in for your workouts. There's a dashboard. All my insiders, that's the name of the group, right? The Brix Fitness Insiders. I see if they worked out for the week. There's structure behind it. So that's what inspired me to create the group. And when I tell you, man, and I'm getting goosebumps right now, I am so proud of the fact that I'm a part of what's happening in that group. There are so many relationships being formed. There are people who are supporting each other. There are people traveling across the country to meet with each other. Like that's life-changing shit. This is huge. This is I check in every morning. I look at they're posting.
That is dedication. That's
they're posting their you know what happened if they fell off this weekend, if they were depressed and they ate this weekend. To have a space that you can share that sort of shit. and be that vulnerable and to have people support you and to encourage you. That shit is fucking powerful. And that's just what I wanted to create with the group. And it's happening. And I'm so happy to have been the facilitator for it. Because it's not about me. It is about those 200 members in that group right now who are supporting each other. And it's a beautiful thing. Like, oh man, it's beautiful.
You're responsible for their solidarity.
You made me sit here and think, like, how the hell did I even make it this far? Like, God, because I'm by myself. But
not everyone is as strong, you know?
I can say that my support is what you said in the beginning. It was the fact that I put it as my title. I put it in my bio. Literally on my social media, I attached it to me, and everybody was like either looking up to me and interested in what I was doing, and it kept me going to this day. I still to this day have someone like just yesterday, I need help. We want to transition to vegan. Can you send me recipes? And I just, you know what I'm saying? I shoot it over or whatever. So it's like that me bringing it to social media was, I guess that's the only support group I can say I have. Because I don't have what you're talking about.
No, but that's one of the biggest forms of accountability, if you ask me, is when you attach it to your identity.
Yeah. Now, wait.
That doesn't work for everyone.
Well, speaking with support and family and like you said, you're a father first. So how is home life? We know what you're doing out there, but how are you two at home personally with your children, and how does that work with?
So it's tough because I wasn't this person their whole life.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. So I can't, decide to make my lifestyle changes and then all of a sudden try to force it onto them when most of their life, they're used to certain things. So now my approach is I for one, lead by example, right? I lead by example.
Yes.
And then for two, like they're still kids. So
yes,
I let them make their choices and then I meet them halfway on their choices. Right. So I don't try to dictate. I don't tell them what they can or cannot eat.
Yeah. But
if they say they want this and I'm like, nah, I'd rather them eat this. I'll meet them in the middle somewhere.
Yeah.
So that's my approach.
Right. I 100% agree with that. I have people tease me now, like my cousins or whatever, and they think automatically my house is full of vegan. And I'm like, my kids are still normal people. You know what I mean? That's just me. And they're like, oh, thank God. I'm like, why would I ever, like you said, I was not this person. I've been cooking all kind of foods for these children all their lives. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not all, because I chose something for myself. I'm not putting it off on them at all. Yep. And I disagree with that 100%. I agree. And you have to at least meet them in the middle, because I'm not going to just let them just sit and eat McDonald's either all day. That's a no-go. You know what I'm saying?
Once in a while, because I don't want to,
Once in a while I do.
Yeah.
But at the same time too, I also be like, well, you want Chick-fil-A?
Yeah, exactly. And that's my thing. And
they enjoy that. They think it's like even better for real. So they're like, oh, shit, you know what I mean? So I know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? So I agree with that. And I just was interested on that because people ask me all the time, how does that work?
Yeah.
And that just would make sense.
It's tough.
How many children do you have right now?
I got two. I have
gotcha.
My daughter just turned 14. We're stressing all the way out. And then my son is 12.
Yeah, I have 4 daughters.
Wow.
15, about to be 14 in a couple weeks, 11 and 6.
Wow.
Yeah, so pray for me. And actually, if we can come up with an accountability group for me, for people like, I need support, all kind of shit, okay?
So, it's funny, my auntie Debbie, shout out to her. I remember when she had my cousin Tony, and I was like, when you gonna have another one? I literally remember him being born and saying, when you gonna have another one? And I'll never forget, she said, no, Alex, 2 and I'm through. So
right.
Are you a part of the 2 and I'm through group, or do you foresee, you know what I'm saying? Is that something you'd be willing to have more? You know what I'm saying?
So here's the thing, man. That was my narrative for at least the last 2 years. I'm like, yo, I don't want no more kids.
Right.
But then I've also gotten to this place where I'm like, there's so many details that I've tried to plan in my life that didn't quite happen the way that it did, but it ended up being something that I loved anyway. So now it's like, if I can control it, which I've already I've given up control, like, of the details of my life, right? Because it's like, whatever. I know what I want my life to feel like, and that's what matters. The details of it, not so much, because I can't control that.
Thank you.
But if I can control it, no mas.
Right.
No mas. But I'm not going to close myself off energetically to any possibilities of happiness, because that's ultimately what I want, right? So it just depends.
So are you with like the happiness and family and all that? Are you in a relationship now?
No.
Like, I don't mean to be nosy.
No, that's fine.
I do mean to be nosy. I'm sorry, but
no.
So, because I want to see how you balance everything. So
yeah,
okay, so
for the first time, honestly, in my life, I'm just dating and I'm having.
Where you at with that? Like, you're just like, I'm dating.
I'm just dating. I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm living in the moment for the first time. I've always been a relationship person. Like, I've been a serial monogamous all my life. So real. I need this season to just date, learn myself.
Like me.
Yeah, that's just where I'm at.
You on that, man. I think people are low key jealous too that they can't. Let me stop.
I know who.
No, but I be big on it. I'm like,
they don't like it.
Right. I'm like, I'm big on me right now. Yeah. I just feel like you get to a point. Are you at that point where you owe yourself?
Mm-hmm. Oh, big time.
Is that it? Like, that's it for me.
Big time.
I'm like, man, I owe me a lot of shit right now. I ain't got time, man. Shit.
That is a fact. I'll tell you, I feel you on that. That's exactly where I'm at.
Yeah.
Could you speak to how your lifestyle, right, where you're at when it comes to health and fitness, how would that affect? Because I saw you had a video where you were saying somebody should not be dating during their transformation. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of changes you're going through, distractions, this, that, and third. With your health and fitness thing, is that somewhat of a prerequisite where, like, you know what I'm saying, a woman, she got to be healthy both, you know, inside and outside for you, because, you know, it just wouldn't match? So absolutely. And I'm gonna share, because I had a few drinks and I feel like sharing, right?
All right, let's go.
Hey, it's called Pretty Lies and Ugly Truths. That's why I told your name.
Let's get comfortable. Hold on.
Let's keep it 100, right? So my lifestyle, I like hiking, I like kayaking, I like wakeboarding, I like being on boats, I like doing outdoorsy, active, fun shit. I like eating healthy meals. And I honestly have a hard time finding, like, while I'm dating, right? Let me just speak from my experience. I'm not gonna typecast, I'm not going to generalize anything. Mm-hmm. But finding Black women that enjoy this lifestyle with me it has been a challenge for me to find that, right? Mm-hmm. And I know that's not what you asked, but I don't know. I just felt like, because people come at me about my you know, the type of women that I've happened to date, and it wasn't even it's not a choice. Like, I'm not out here looking for
for a specific, like you said, you don't have control. It's you're open to the happiness part.
And that's it. So whatever meshes well with the direction that I want to take my life, whatever fits the best. And if the chemistry is there, the attraction is there, and the vibe is there,
it doesn't matter what it looks like for someone else.
No, it doesn't.
Right.
But I get a lot of flack for that shit.
Really? Okay, so is it like white women? Like, is that what it is?
It typically, when I find someone that likes to live the outdoor lifestyle, it's non-Black, right? Not always white, but non-Black, yeah. Mm-hmm. Not saying that they're not out there, but that's just my experience. I'm just talking about my experience.
Yeah. I can agree with that on a different level, because I had an issue and they teased me about this shit. And I told them that they need to stop that, but because I'm trying to do better in my life. But I was attached to, street dudes for a long time. You know what I'm saying? And I'm where I'm at now. I'm looking for a balance, and it's hard to find it.
No, it ain't.
And I'm like, shit.
But
but you're telling me you feel me though, but you're talking about something else. And I'm as a woman, I'm coming from this end where I'm trying to look for, that black dude too, but I want that street, but I want him to be like, eat good and want to live good, don't want to go to prison.
But you have to have an abundance mindset, and I've been working on that.
It's hard to find that. Like you saying, it's hard to find what you're looking for. Hard as hell. It's hard. I can't say who's harder, but who's having a hard time. But
I think I digressed. I don't exactly remember your question, but I went on a tangent just now. So we can bring it back. Alex, if you want to repeat the question.
It was just flat out like, was that like a prerequisite? But you pretty much in a sense,
you
kind of like you alluded to saying, it all but is. But what's funny that because I felt like you answered it. You said it is, because if you're saying it's hard to find, that lets me know you do have a type.
Priority.
If you're not ashamed.
It's one priority for me. Like, it's such a big part of my lifestyle.
Yeah.
It would almost be impossible to date someone or be with someone who doesn't prioritize, or at least doesn't have the intention of going back.
So
like one of my best friends, like he professional basketball player, Julian, he was like, I'll never forget it. He was like, I can't date a girl, she's not an athlete. I'm like, what do you mean? And when he said, he goes, bro, my mom, because him and his mom and pops both ran track. He goes, my mom gets up and runs at 5 a.m. in the morning. So I'm like, okay. I see where he at with it. I see where he's at with it.
When it's mama, that's it.
Yeah. So it's kind of like he's only been around, women that take care of themselves. Now let me ask this. I hope this doesn't come off sexist at all. But I remember I gained 50 pounds after high school, right? And my cousin Andre from Jasper, Florida, he came to visit us, lived a few hours away, came to visit us. And when he came in the house, I had my shirt off, and it was his first time seeing me in a while. He was like, dang, you got back from that table a little bit. My mom was like, yeah, that joker done gained about 40, 50 pounds. You know what I'm saying? He getting out of whack. So he said to my mom, oh, Linda, he all right though. He a man. He said he's a man. He goes, he's going to be able to get girls regardless of how he looks.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll never forget that statement. And I'm now with you saying where the fitness thing, a woman has to be able to keep up with you. Right. What are your thoughts on that? Do you feel that, because I'm wondering, when you were not in shape like this, did you have a type, or is it something that now you have a type? Even when you were big, were you still like, oh, a woman got to be on point for you?
Yeah, I've always been into like not overweight women. Let me say that. Right? I've always, even when I was a big boy, like my kid's mom was petite. All my girlfriends were petite when I was overweight. So it's not so much about the look now. Like, of course,
it's the health,
lifestyle. It's the lifestyle.
Yeah. Okay. It's
the lifestyle.
Yeah.
But, when I was overweight, right? So I think for men it's different, and I agree. With your uncle. What you said, your uncle or your cousin?
Andre.
Yeah, your cousin. So I agree with that, but I think how it affected me, it was in the confidence department. So if you can gain weight and still maintain your confidence, maintain your your swag, and then it's probably not going to affect you much, to be honest.
Right.
Like Ross.
Yeah, facts. Exactly.
Yeah, but see, it did affect him. It did affect him. So you got to kind of be careful with it too.
Yeah.
Because people would be like, oh, well, shit, I could be like this. And then you end up with people that are sick. People that die from a heart attack.
Sure.
So you got to kind of be careful with telling someone that it's okay if you're happy.
Yeah, like, because life ain't about getting girls. It's not about just getting girls. You feel me? Like,
facts.
But what was interesting is the fact that when he said that, it was like, wow. It's like, I was thinking to myself, you see men that are overweight, and you see women that are in shape, I think, more than the other way around. You know what I'm saying? And it's no body shaming whatsoever, because I love, I think everybody should love themselves inside and out, regardless of however you look. But when he said that, it was like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't, at that point I was so young, and hearing that perspective, you know what I'm saying? And knowing like, that's how it is.
Like, it's okay for us.
Yeah, it was like, whoa.
Here's the thing, right? I'm a humanist at heart, right? I've dated a feminist. That was a very interesting experience.
You said a what? You dated a feminist?
A feminist, yes.
Okay.
Hardcore feminist.
Yeah.
And I think the whole, there's the body shaming movements and all that. Like I get where that stuff comes from, but I feel like people are judged for having preferences. Like, you can't come at me for having a preference. I'm not saying anybody's better than anybody else. I'm telling you what I prefer, and I'm allowed to have a preference. So
that's when you realize, how you deal with that in that way. And then someone may deal with judgment in a whole other type of way, whether they don't have the preference judgment because of who they date, but maybe, the color of their skin, what I'm saying? Stuff like that. And you just got to realize that this is just the world, how they are. We're all being judged every day unfairly. And so sometimes you can't even think about your own, like, why I gotta be judged for that? Because someone next to you is being judged too for something different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's crazy.
I'm trying not to ever take anything personal, and it's tough.
Yeah,
it's never
is
personal. It's not personal.
Yeah, spirit. I think plays a big part, because you get people like Ashley Graham. You know what I'm saying? She's a plus size model. From, I don't know this woman personally, but the spirit seems to be in the right place. Lizzo, you know what I'm saying? Like platinum, recording artist.
Right.
But regardless of that, her spirit is something that, like, it's like, I think with that, people don't even look at it. It's like, man, you know what? You realize it doesn't even matter. Like, the world is trying to make it matter.
That's
what I'm saying? Because our country,
power and not taking things personal.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of money behind body shaming and making people feel like something's supposed to be a certain way, down to your body, and also
of
money.
Course.
Yeah, like this country
is on making us all Barbie dolls right now. So if you don't think that they're not making money off that shit, yeah, right.
Yeah, it's a huge.
They coming up like them damn doctors trying to give out anxiety medicines, Xanaxes every damn day.
That's not even getting
coming up like that now.
That's a rabbit hole right there. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So that exactly, I know about that shit. So it's like, if you don't think body shaming is not in the business, that's definitely in the business.
Yeah, people shaming people for they.
People are so sheepish. Like, no one has ideas of their own. Everyone's views on things is so influenced by what they're seeing and consuming.
Like robots.
It's so easy to control.
Yeah, it's like robots being programmed. Like, okay, they didn't think this.
Yeah, like that's
following it and shit, and it's weird.
It is what it is. So, whatever.
You seem to be somebody, speaking of programming and being sheepish, you seem to have cracked the code on, being a Black man that is about entrepreneurship. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that in our community, we don't see a lot of that growing up. We see a lot of like, oh, go work here and you can retire. Like I went and worked for the city of Sacred Harbor, where I'm from, because it was like, they preaching to me, oh, you go there, you can retire after this amount of time. But it's like, damn, like, what if I want to work for myself? What if you wouldn't mind, tell us a little bit about like your upbringing and the 9-to-5s that you were working and stuff before you went all the way self-made with it.
So I started off in manual labor when I was 13 years old.
Oh,
so
snap.
my stepdad was heavy in the construction industry. He had what they call coalitions, which he would take people from the hood, and when he was in jail, he found out about a law that states a certain amount of all city construction is supposed to have a certain amount of percentage of minority workers. So he would go around to these city sites, and if they didn't have the right percentage of minorities, he would bring guys out his van and say, hey, look, we're going to shut this job down if y'all don't put these guys on the site to work, right? So he would get a lot of dudes from my hood jobs, and he had a business around it. The guys would have to pay him anyway.
I'm with you.
So that it was a thing, right? So, exactly. So I got into manual labor from 13 years old, and that really instilled my work ethic. I remember being 13, 14 years old, getting up on Saturday morning at 3:30 a.m. to take 3 buses to dump the ditch and dig in 12 degrees, right? So I've done manual labor for a big part of my life. I've done
You got out the mud, literally.
That showed you too about not being the sheep, because I'm sitting here fucking thinking about how smart that was. Who the hell came up with that shit?
Yeah. You know, I was bagging groceries at 14. Nothing like what you was doing.
He like, to me, because that's so something I don't know anything about. Like that was like a creation to me. You know what I mean? For him to create that opportunity and know about it, and like that's crazy.
Yeah, he's a genius. I learned a lot from that man. You know, I learned a lot from him. But you know, besides watching him beat the shit out of my mom all my childhood, but that's another part of the conversation.
Yeah. Right. Sorry to hear about that.
Right.
But the fact that you could seek the divinity, the fact that like we had Tuck Taylor on here, and he's somebody else that's a trainer just like yourself. He speaks on seeking the divinity in somebody. So the fact that you can see, hey, this was fucked up about it, but this was something that I did get from that. It shows, you know, you definitely know how to chew the meat, spit out the bone. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm not mad at him. You know, I'm not upset with him, and I don't want this conversation to go that direction. But I appreciate you guys acknowledging that, because that's exactly how I look at it. Like, there's so much great things that I learned from this man. That shit, the negative things, what shouldn't be the first, second, or third thing that I talk about.
Right.
Powerful.
He was very respected in you. Yeah. It just shows who you are as a person. Just to, you know, because you did, you know, when you do say something like it's like, well, dang, I mean, for you to though, first you spoke about what was real first, and that was what you got. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. The point, anyway. You know, so.
Would you say some of maybe, you know, you don't have to dive into the details, with some of maybe the trauma from childhood plays a part to where the food was from? Because my personal theory on addiction is like we're running away from something or running to something. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I didn't know if maybe food was kind of like a coping mechanism for
100%, 100%, without a doubt. That was the thing that I would use to help me escape, or to my numbing behavior.
Gotcha.
Whenever life was getting too tough, that would be, you know, jump into some Haagen-Dazs. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How much money, if somebody wanted to be self-made like you, right? How much money you figure if they work in a 9-to-5 right now and they want to be self-made, what do you think they need to like set aside before they jump all the way out there with it?
So that's such a hard, you know, you can't really give a concrete number to that, right? It's kind of hard. It's just
got to do the 1 foot in, 1 foot out thing.
Yeah, it just depends on the person, their situation. I mean, but in theory, I mean, every person should have at least 3 months of expenses set up somewhere, right?
3 months, that's the magic number.
At least 90 days, right? Just to kind of give some concrete advice with that. But I don't know, my story's a little bit different. You know, I kind of got cornered into my situation. Mm-hmm. So it's a little bit different. And here's the takeaway, right? You're never going to feel like, oh yeah, I'm ready. You're never going to feel prepared. You're never going to feel not afraid. It's always going to be uncomfortable. So no matter how much, you know, money you save up, how much planning you do, it's never going to feel like the right moment. You just, at some point, you just got to jump.
Yep. You sound like me. I'm big on that. You waiting for that, you be waiting forever. Because something's going to always come up, it seems like, you know.
Yep, just go. I mean, I don't know. I'm such an optimist. I'm such a like lean on faith kind of person.
Yeah.
I just do scary shit, man, and it always works out for me.
Right.
So what would you say from an ROI standpoint, right? Because I love how you said the 3 months, because that's a gem. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Give yourself a 3-month cushion. How long of a cushion would you say somebody should give themselves after they start to look for an ROI to be able to all the way be able to say like, all right, this is how I'm paying the bills? Because some people, a lot of times, they'd be like, man, I went into this business and it didn't pop off in the first certain amount of time, so I just said fuck it, and I left, and I didn't stick with it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I don't know.
Let me give you an answer that I'm pretty sure no one's going to give you for this type of question. I think it's worth more to become a person and to build the relationships that will support you. So for instance, I can take big risks right now because of the relationships that I've built over the years. I know that there's people who believe in my character, that believe in my work ethic, that no matter any situation I'm ever in, they will be there to back me because they believe in me that much. And they know it's something great in it for them and for the world.
Right.
So building that character and that relationships is worth more than having 3 months of backup money. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. You what you did is you figure out a way to incentivize everybody that's involved.
Have leverage. Have
you know what I'm saying? Like it's something in it for them. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah, and I heard someone tell me before, and a very successful person too, having people is worth more than having money.
Straight up.
They're like, investing in people is like the best thing you can do in your life.
Right. So Trump, I hate his guts, right?
Yeah. Right.
But earlier in his career, when he went under, he had the relationships with people who would hand him over $50 million without questions.
They already know.
So, and I think that's worth way more.
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
Gotcha.
I agree. We were just speaking on that. That's funny. Literally today.
So when you speak on them relationships and everything like that, right? You that mindset, man, like I don't feel like that's something somebody's born with. And I saw in your story you put up, how you were diving into the 4 agreements.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my favorite books I've read before. If you would mind, tell us a little bit about what your biggest takeaway was from that and any other literature that you dive into. You know what I'm saying? What else you like to read?
Just being like the first agreement, like being impeccable with your word is one of the biggest. Like that's just I live by that. Like even with today, right? I'm like the way that I pride myself on communication, on being a man of my word. Like and it goes down to the core of who you are and how you carry yourself. Right. My word is my bond, period. Like I don't compromise on my word for nobody, no thing, period.
Right.
And it's just like having those sort of strong principles, that like living with that level of integrity. There's so much payout, like the universe just like takes care of you when you just are solid, like just a solid motherfucker. Like no one can ever say that I ever did them wrong.
Facts.
Or, like never. No, there's no human being on this planet that could ever say that, and I pride myself on that.
Right? Oh my God, I think
like that's the blessings. Like the blessings comes when you are just solid.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Powerful.
A lot of people can relate to that too. See how you got passionate about that, and you get like, man, got like that. Like I feel you on that shit. Cause when I tell you, like, twin, like literally. Because I that's the thing, is priding yourself on the shit that can't nobody buy. I want to give you everything you can't buy. And I would be satisfied.
I'm
satisfied with that.
I love
all
that
other shit, I don't know about that. Yeah. Because it's special, because you can't get that out of people.
But here's the thing, like it's not the payoff in living like that is not something that you can show off to people, right? It's not this beautiful, sexy thing that has these yields that.
No, you go through it.
Yeah, you go through it. It costs you to live like that at times.
Hell yeah. You're going to take some losses and all kinds of shit.
Sure.
Man, please.
But that's, that's just who I've attached that to my identity.
Yeah, it ain't glam,
So, yeah. But
it's the piece that's what's rewarding. It got nothing to do with I can show off. Look how real I am because I got it. Nah. Boy, you can't even know how the fuck this piece feel. How my heart just is at a set beat.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I never have to go here. You know what I mean? Like knowing I did exactly what I was supposed to do by you.
Yes.
I feel you on that.
Period. Period. That's it. You hit the nail on the head.
Yeah. So, I have some people. They say like, you gotta let it go. Like on that Ayana Fix My Life show, where she put all the stuff on the people, and she'd be like, "Let me take this off. Let me take this off. Let me take this off." You know what I'm saying? Now you see how much lighter that is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like your podcast, you got the get well, get money. It seems like it's on purpose. You put get well before get money because you got to be well to get the bag. Am I correct? Is that why it's in that order like that?
Fact.
So it's funny, man. I kind of tell the story like this. Like the moment I got serious about taking care of my health, like my relationships and my finances just simultaneously got better. Like, continually.
Yeah.
So for sure. And I think it's more so about the principles that I learned during the process.
Yeah.
Right? Me keeping a promise to myself, my work ethic, my discipline, my willpower.
Yeah.
It started off as intentions with health and wellness, right? With weight loss, but then those same habits carried on into my business and my relationships. And
how you do one thing is you do everything.
How you do anything is how you do everything.
Period. I don't care. That's how I can tell what you're gonna do with anything. Is, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And that's how you gotta judge that for real.
Sure.
Because once you learn how to not procrastinate and organize and all that, it works with everything.
Yes.
Same rules apply to everything.
Yes.
You don't got to read a different book.
The principles apply. Like all the principles apply to.
You don't have to read a different book.
No, it's the same stuff.
Like they say, back to the basics.
Yeah, I feel people should have like their own personal board of directors, like certain people they consult with to make decisions. And I think from your circle to your business partners and all of that, the motto, because Toya speaks on it all the time, how you do anything is how you do everything. I don't think people have that type of vetting process. I think some people they just feel like, well, if they do this good, then everything else. But it's like, but you don't understand, because me, as I'm getting older, I'm starting to realize, like, damn, man, like I should have known that person wouldn't have been as reliable for this, because look at how this other thing is being handled.
You'll save yourself a lot of time.
Yeah, like I can't be friends with dudes that don't take care of the kids.
Facts.
You can't be a good friend to me if you cheat on your wife. I mean, everyone has their own.
I can't be friends with females that talk about other females that they were friends with, or you know what I mean. I was just telling them this last night. I watch how people move with other people, and I go to them. You ain't got to worry about me talking about you. And I'm gonna go to you, and I'm gonna present it to you, and how you respond to me is gonna tell me exactly what I need to know.
Every time.
We're gonna probably end that right there.
Every time.
You're not gonna appreciate me being honest, and I'm not rude honest. I'm just, like we said before, people don't like honesty. That's just it. I don't care if it comes with a bow on that motherfucker. They don't like it. So, you know.
Oh boy.
You save a lot of time when you start really, but see, that's how you do one thing, you do everything. So when you start analyzing you start working on you'll start learning how to look at other people. It's not judging, but it's like I gotta make, if I'm making sure this straight, I gotta make sure everything's straight. So that means everybody I deal with, everybody I conversate with, all that, you know what I'm saying? And it's a domino effect. You know what I mean? Like life is when you make fucked up decisions, what happens after that? Fucked up shit. You know what I'm saying? You make good decisions, what happens? Good shit. You know what I mean? It's just domino effect.
That's simple though.
Take it where you want to take it.
You sound like somebody mama just.
But it's.
Oh, sorry.
You are somebody.
I am somebody mama.
I feel like I just heard a bunch like you do make fucked up decisions.
Right. That's where my kids tell their friends, like, don't fall for how she looks. She's really more serious than that. She just looked like that. It was good talking to you.
Are you real quick, like, how are you human, bro? I saw you in an interview say you gained 40 pounds, or was it 60 pounds 4 times on your way to where you
at
were?
Least.
And then like every winter you gain like 30 pounds. How can somebody consistently take them punches and bounce back? Like, what is it? Like, because
in my head, I was a fitness professional. I was a person that's supposed to be leading by example. I had attached that to my identity. So I wouldn't violate myself by quitting. Period.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It was attached to my identity. It was attached to my identity. I'm gonna fuck up. That's just human of me, right? So, the true fucking up is just quitting, and I wasn't willing to do that.
Can we we need
to put there's some quotables in here, right?
Damn. Like, no, dead ass, because okay, I made a video today. I said, listen, y'all, let me just straighten this shit out right now. Real isn't perfect.
No.
Has nothing to fucking do with it. It's probably the complete opposite.
So
fucking stop. That when someone says they real and it didn't, that doesn't mean that things are supposed to go a specific fucking way. You know what I'm saying? And that was just how you said that shit. Quitting is that's the fuck up.
That's the fuck.
It's not being human and doing some shit. Like, you know how many times I done fell back and ate some seafood? Mm-hmm. Now, I do be like, oh shit, tighten the fuck up. You can't do this. You know what I'm saying? You're on another path. But still, I didn't give up and say, you know what, fuck it. I'm just going to let it go and not be. I ain't do that.
Yeah.
I kept going. I keep going.
I'm glad that hit for you because, a lot of people can't relate to that. So, we just had a moment, Latoya.
Yeah. We did.
We had a few.
Yeah. Right. I like that. So sometimes we need this in life. We need to run across these other energies and charge up real quick.
Facts.
Yeah. That's what it's all about.
So, you know how I speak on that board of directors, people already have them, whether they know it or not. And we ask everybody before they leave to let us know. You know, I'm pretty sure you heard, much as you read, you heard about the theory. We are all the sum of the 5 people that we are around to communicate with the most. Mm-hmm. So we
Alex, let me stop you for a second, man. You said something powerful. You said we all have those board of directors, whether we know it or not.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. So we have people who are kind of like governing our lives.
Facts.
And we don't intentionally put the right people in these places, and that has so much to do with the way that our lives fucking manifest, like the way things manifest. So that's good, man.
That's what you got to check. Who are you putting in that motherfucker? Don't just worry about having one.
No, but who is it? Who is it? Because it's gonna be somebody there, regardless of what. Like somebody.
I don't put my kids in that position. Let's be real. I have a 15-year-old daughter that knows damn near everything from the internet. I didn't put my kids in that position. You know, so I had to sometimes realize, well, let me swap her out with somebody grown.
That's crazy. I had to check myself the other day, like, because me and my daughter, we have this bond, we have this line of communication that's so open that I found myself oversharing with her. I'm like, oh, hold on, let me. No, I should have said that to you. I don't want to burden you all this shit. Yeah.
I thought that was just me, bro. I'd be like,
but we have to think like. But when you raise kids with love and their wisdom develops a little faster nowadays.
They're different. They're not
like how when we were kids.
Your family is not like even other families. Like my family is not, our household is not like other households. Yeah, same. We get in. We in there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sorry. I didn't mean to like throw it out, but Alex, I'm sorry.
Another one of our moments.
Nah, you're great. Yeah. So your board, you know what I'm saying? Like your five people, that's the sum of what we see. That's a reflection of Brix, you know what I'm saying? Who are those 5 people?
Man, I got a great cast, man. Like I'd be fronting if I didn't give a lot of the credit for my happiness, for my success to that cast, right? So first and foremost, man, my ex-wife, right? My ex-wife, who I built this whole thing with, is the first person in that position. She amazing human being. Like we're still partners. We still my best friend.
That's dope when people could do
amazing. I don't know where the fuck my life would be without her. She's the person who told me that I was a king before I seen myself.
Oh yeah.
You feel me? Yeah. So her, and then my boy Rob Hill. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him, but a real close friend of mine. We've been friends about 8-9 years. He's an author, speaker.
Nah. Bro, we're going to ask for that favor. Continue on. If we talk about the same Rob Hill, we're going to ask for that favor.
Yeah, Rob Hill Sr., for sure. That's one of my best friends.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. So he's the closest thing to a prophet I've ever fucking met.
Bro, yeah. Oh, my God.
So he's one of
I don't know. I'm going to have to go look him up.
Yeah. Do yourself that favor.
Yeah, for sure.
So Rob, all right, and then I have my boy Matt Pillmore, who is another content creator. He's a content creator in the financial education space, right? One of those key relationships that I've made that turned into like a real brotherhood, right? He's guided me, you know. I mean, I'm from the hood. Like I didn't learn about how to manage money and credit and all that sort of shit. So, you know, he's taught me so much in that arena of life and in business in general. I have a business mentor who's kind of like a commercial real estate tycoon in the area that, you know, he's kind of been my mentor for 5 years, who like my mannerisms down to what I chose to drive, you know, I was influenced by this man, you know, so, and then also,
what's his name?
His name's Bobby Wright.
Bobby Wright.
Bobby Wright. Yeah. He owns a lot of the downtown, in the city where I live. And then also, man, I want to give credit to my father, my ex-wife's father, right? He's another one of these people that I, you know, no matter what the scenario is in my life, man, I can bounce some shit off of him and he gives me brilliant advice, you know? So yeah, those are the folks, man, for sure, that are responsible for a lot of, you know, what I'm doing right now.
That's what's up. That's what's
Definitely,
up. Very important. Very important.
Yeah, big facts. Well, yeah, you could pretty much take it away. We ask everybody, don't be shameful about self-promotion. Drop all your hashtags, @signs, .coms, et cetera.
Can I just take this opportunity? Let me thank y'all, man. I don't even want to plug nothing, man. Like, I'm so glad, to be honest. I like, you know, I'm appreciative of this conversation, this experience.
Yeah, very much so.
This conversation, the energy was amazing. You guys, I'm super happy for you guys. I look forward to watching this thing blow up.
Thank you so much.
I'm just happy to have been a part of it, man. So I just want to take this time to do
I'm soft. Don't do this. Don't do that. Thank you, because it means a lot to us. It means a lot to me. This is all from my heart. You know what I'm saying? Literally.
I can feel it.
Yeah. So we just appreciate you. Like I told you in the beginning, appreciate you just making time for us, because it's literally, we coming from the ground.
Yeah, no doubt.
And just with nothing but faith.
I'll meet y'all at the top.
Facts. Yeah. We already there for real, but you know.
Exactly.
We are.
Let's go.
We'll wait for everybody else to catch up is what we doing.
There we go. Like Hope say, you could be anywhere in the world, but you here with me out that line there.
Yeah.
Right.
Appreciate that. Hey, but if somehow, some way, if you know what I'm saying, if Rob Hill, you know,
he must be somebody, because Alex has never asked.
Yeah, man, like dude been popping for a minute.
Ask for baby. This guy must really be somebody. Okay.
Yeah. Nah, Rob is he's a great person to connect with, for sure.
Yeah, he's a walking bar. Like, dude, just like bars for days. You've seen his quotes, Toya. You probably just ain't know it was him. If you ever see, like, trust me, I see your quote. Like, oh, this dude.
Facts. I like it.
I got y'all. I'll send him this episode. Or I'll make the connection on Instagram.
Okay.
Blessings, bro.
Thanks.
Blessings.
Thank you so much.
All right. And then we're gonna be forwarding your @signs and your websites and all that stuff anyway, because we're gonna do it anyway. Be a part of that accountability group. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt. That's all.
All right.
So pretty light.